Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a special day because my husband is joining me, and hopefully, we are going to make a few videos series about our life, our moves, who we are, and how we got here. My name is Martin, and I want to say thank you for all the support so far. And I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
My name is Paul, and I follow him around the country for school, and that's kind of my life.
Well, this is exactly why we're doing the video today. We are going to talk about why we moved so much in the past 3 years. Because how many times do we move?
Oh, good Lord, I don't even know.
Five, maybe five, six times that we moved in the past 3 years since 2020. What? 2020.
2021.
Well, since in the past 5 years, then.
Yeah.
We've moved around five, six times in the past 5 years, starting it with the very tail end of the pandemic, and we are going to talk about why. So, do you wanna go ahead and start how we met and when did everything started with the move and where you were living or where I was living?
Well, I was living in Windsor, Missouri, and you were in Jefferson City, and we met at a campground in June 21. And then I started living with you basically October,
At the end of November,
November.
at the end of November of
November
21.
21. Yeah.
Yes.
And we lived in Jeff City for 6 months
Yes.
until we bought our RV, and then we moved into our RV, moved around, stayed at different campgrounds, a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, and then ended up at my mom's in Bramer, Missouri for I think about 7 months.
Yeah.
And then from there we went on to
St.
St. Louis.
And then from St. Louis, we moved to Chicago for 2 years, 2023 to 25, and then 25 we moved to Columbia, Missouri again. So the reason why we moved so much is because at the beginning it was during the pandemic we both were working from home, so we didn't see the need to keep paying rent, and we just said, well, since we're working from home, let's just buy an RV and let's travel around, and we can basically just travel and work, right?
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. That's why we bought the RV, and we were living full time in our RV, which was a learning experience to say the least. It was so much fun, but it also had a lot of challenges of things like, having internet connection, reception, wherever we went to different campgrounds, or at your mom's house, the farmhouse, that internet was really difficult to get.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up using just hotspots, and that worked fine. I mean, I didn't have any issue. We were able to work pretty much wherever, just using those.
Actually, we wanted to do a YouTube series of owning an RV and what all that entailed, but it was very complicated. There's a lot of different moving parts of owning an RV, and there is always something that you need to fix. And thankfully, Paul is very handy with things, so he was trying to fix everything, isolated, so it doesn't get cold. It didn't get cold. It was just we just didn't have much time to do that. I still have a lot of the footages of the RV. Hopefully, I'll be able to put it in this video so you can see a little bit our life in the RV. But yeah, that was our experience with the RV. Then I got promoted. I was working for the state at the time, and I got promoted to an office in St. Louis, and we had to move to St. Louis, and we moved to an RV camp there for 7 to 8 months. And while we were there, I had to go to the office and we couldn't travel anymore. That was a bummer. And then I decided after that that I wanted to go back to school and do my master's, because my ultimate goal is to teach. And so I got into the University of Chicago, and that's when we decided to move to Chicago. And that was a big change for us because that meant that we couldn't take the RV with us.
Yeah, we had to leave the RV behind, so we left it at my mom's, where it's actually still sitting now. But Chicago was a good time. I mean, it was nice to, live in a city and, just experience kind of that big city life for a couple years. But, we were in South Side by University of Chicago for 2 year or for a year, and then we moved up north to Edgewater for another year because he got a job teaching um, at a little private college just north of Chicago. But it was nice. I enjoyed living in Chicago. I was honestly ready to come back to Missouri, a little more open space though after 2 years. So I was. I like more open space. I mean, you can't get away from people. You cannot get away from really anything in Chicago.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chicago is a big city.
yeah.
It's very cramped. Getting parking is the worst nightmare ever if you live in a busy neighborhood like Edgewater or Rogers Park or up north. Getting parking is virtually impossible unless you pay your private space for parking, which is very expensive. So
Mhm.
living in Chicago was very costly, and we couldn't afford paying for our private space, and we had to find parking every day. When I would go to teach and come back at night, it was just impossible. I would just drive around and around and around trying to find parking, and it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a pain. And then you have to worry about, they sweep the streets ever so often. So if you don't check your car, because I work from home, so I didn't drive all the time. So, if I didn't check the car every week or so, then you end up with a parking ticket because you didn't move on the street sweeping day. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, and funny story though, I've never gotten so many parking tickets like I did in Chicago, or clean street cleaning tickets, and that was like $60 of street cleaning tickets every
Hmm.
time. But the problem was that they wouldn't tell you in advance when the street cleaning was, and if I didn't use my car for 4 days, then I come back and there was a ticket there, and it was just, there wasn't any way that I could keep up with it, and I just kept on getting tickets. Well, I paid it off. Okay, I paid it off.
At least we hope. I mean, we don't know that there's no warrants out
No,
for
I
his
did.
arrest in
I think I did.
Chicago. So,
Yeah. Well, anyway, so fast forward to 2025, after a year of finishing my master's and teaching for a year at Lake Forest College, I got into the PhD program here at the University of Missouri, where I'm at now. I'm currently going to start year 2 of the PhD, which that in and of itself is also a huge accomplishment, but also a very, very difficult road, and it's a difficult road.
tooting your own horn, that's a huge accomplishment
It's
that
a
I.
huge accomplishment.
It
Zero
is.
point
It
1
is.
percent of the
It
population
is.
is able to achieve
It
a
is.
PhD.
It is a huge accomplishment. I am super proud of him. I give him a hard time, but I am super proud of
Thank you. Anyway, so all of this all of this is to say that what Paul does for work is a blessing for us because it allowed us to move everywhere that we've moved so far, and so he's my biggest supporter, and I also support him in everything that we can. So um, I am very thankful that we are living this life where we are able to move and we're flexible with our schedule, and I can continue my dream of becoming a doctor and also to becoming a professor, which is what I want to do. And also our baby that follows us everywhere. There is
him.
Bruno. Look at that. Bruno.
He's wearing his little bathrobe because we just went for a walk and it started raining on us.
It started
So
raining.
we had to put his bathrobe on him.
So that is our story of why and how and where we moved in the past 5 years. We just bought a house and we're really, really excited about this new experience as a couple. And we are just having a lot of fun doing things around the house. He's been working nonstop for the house. So I'll let you take the lead on that and tell them a little bit about all the things that we need to do in a house.
Well, I mean, the house was, in really good shape whenever we moved in. I mean, everything had been painted and cleaned, carpet, flooring was new. So even new appliances are pretty new. But, there's little things. I mean, and a lot of little touches make a huge difference. For example, the doors going down the hall to the bathroom, bedrooms were like 1970s brown wood doors. I mean, they looked awful, but just a fresh coat of paint, like a dark
Lighting.
charcoal, makes a huge difference. Replaced a few lights in the kitchen, downstairs bathroom, little things like that that have made, a huge difference. And we've still got things to do. I mean, I've still in the kitchen got to redo the kitchen counters and put a new sink and faucet and all these things. But now I'm trying to figure out when to do that
Yeah.
because he needs to cook for me. So,
And also, people don't know, but when you live in an apartment, a very like a small apartment like we did, or you live in an RV and then a one bedroom apartment, you don't own a lot of furnitures. And then when you buy a house, you have all this space that you need to fill. Like we have a dining room now, and we have a living room, and we have a kitchen, and then we have three bedroom, and then we have the basement, and most of which is filled with my books, though I would say. And I have a feeling it was gonna keep filling, getting filled with books. But anyway, having a house, you have a lot of stuff that you need to get, and it becomes really expensive. But that's gonna be another a story for another time. How difficult and stressful is to buy a house? That was a crazy experience. But
and the
yeah,
bad thing is that it actually went really quickly and really smoothly. But it seemed just being quick and smooth was still complicated and exhausting.
but this is a
So,
spoiler. Get you a real estate agent that knows what he's doing and or her is doing, and that is going to make the process smooth for you. Because otherwise, if you are a first time homeowner, it is going to be a complete nightmare if you try to do it by yourself. So that's my recommendation, I would say.
no, definitely. Definitely, you need somebody that knows what they're doing. So,
Well, but this is it. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and leave your comment, and we'll see you in the next episode.